Well, that, as you can quite clearly see, is the stricken WRC Rally 1 of Sami Pajari. I tell you what, that must have been quite scary, really quite scary. They've come down this road here, they come down the stage, round the corner, onto this bridge. Now, bridges are generally really susceptible areas for black ice. You can see what's happened. He's braked, the car's not turned, he's taken out all of the railings here, and he's jumped and dropped down. Probably he's pulled the handbrake, I suspect, and he's gone backwards into that ditch there. The good news is that clearly there's nothing gone into the car, and that would worry me with these railings here. This could be interesting as they recover the car. Not really entirely sure what looks like foam stuff is on top of the engine, but goodness me, Sami Pajari would have sat there somewhat shell-shocked, I'm sure of that. Look at that, you can see it, the back end over the drop. It's not an enormous drop, but it's big enough to cause problems. And yeah, that is quite dramatic, really quite dramatic indeed for Sami Pajari.
It's not difficult to see how it's happened, Colin. You know, it's a reasonably quick approach into this right-hander. And yeah, he's just clearly, you know, do you even take the handbrake?
I suspect
he must have, from the angle of the car's gone in, he must have grabbed the handbrake. And probably, you know, you don't have bridges marked in your notes. He'd have no clue that this was here, pitch black. So, no, I don't think you would.
It's possible that he's got to here, or just before he's pulled the handbrake, and perhaps the back end has started to go here, and it's jumped across. I don't know. I don't quite know. I think that's what's happened, David. I think he's come down here.
Look at how he's taken out all of these railings.
Yeah, that's the front of the car, I suspect, as the back end has gone. So these guys say, we just want to check this side here.
He's understeered. This is all. Yeah, look at that. It's understeered, hasn't it? And you can see the left-hand side of the car is badly damaged from this.
But Pajari will be for sure enormously disappointed. He was having a steady event. He was doing what he had to do. We know how difficult Monte is.
Cole, this is not the end of the world. They'll get that car out. It's not so badly damaged. He hasn't got through the last two stages, but he's learned a lesson here.
It's 2 in a row, David.
It's 2 in a row, yeah, good point.
It's 2 in a row. It's 2 Sunday offs in a row. Pajari, you know, with very encouraging Friday and Saturday at CER, put it off on Sunday. It's the same here for Pajari. He's put it off on the Sunday. So here on the outside, this is his left wheel on the outside. Have they started to cross over here? Has he started? So he's pulling the handbrake. He's sideways on. He's at right angles to the road. The nose is maybe still on the road. I think at this point, maybe the nose of the car is still on the road. He's starting to take out these railings here. And then the whole car has jumped down this ditch here and onto the other side of the road. You know what? It stayed upright. Most important thing. Oh my word, listen to those horrible noises. Oh. It's brutal. It's horribly brutal. Well, the cavalry have arrived. The John Deere cavalry have turned up. There's a fair few horsepower there. Yeah, they've obviously given up with the tow truck. Maybe the winch wasn't quite strong enough to get them up and over that bit of concrete there. So they've called in some local support. Normally, he'd be moving the hay bales out into the fields for the cattle. Not this morning. He's going to help get Pajari's car out. By the way, we've worked out what the foam is. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Obviously, we talked about maybe there should have been a hay bale on that rail on that side. Well, what they've got is this here, and that's the foam that you can see on the front of Sami Pajari's car. They've taken it out, the rail, they've taken out the little bit of foam, and that's what's on the front there. Right, here we go. This is now attempt number, I don't know how many, but they have clearly gone with a slightly different approach to lift the back end and drag it out. Why are they lifting the back end? Because there's a big concrete plinth under there. So lifting the back end, lovely stuff. That's so delicate, so gentle. Hardly a sound. It's a horrible sight, it really is, but you've got to admire the efforts. Wow, good job, look at that. Over the, oh, it's beginning to buckle, it's beginning to scrape, it's beginning, that's really nicely done, really nicely done. Really nice, ooh, Oh, there's the concrete bit. That's just the sump guard, the underside, yeah. And they're over. Good job. Good job, boys. There's the concrete. Well done, Mr. Deere. Very, very well done indeed. Now, there's talk of a roll. I'm not sure. I think a pirouette and a spin. I'm not sure about a roll. So there we are, folks. Bad news for Sami Pajari supporters. It is once again a Sunday off for young Pajari. That car badly damaged on the front left. Remarkably still intact on, well, 3/4 of the car, basically. Well done to the marshals for keeping everyone safe. Well done to the local farmer for extracting that car. Well done to all who have been involved in this recovery. Wow, Sami Pajari, he's got a bit to think about between now and Sweden.